am, and this is Pastor. Say hi, Pastor.
I'm the music pastor. Everybody knows who I am. I mean, I'm there every Sunday in the services, choir rehearsals,
One pathetic sob story later.
Hi, Pastor.
Aaron might be the music pastor, but I know that this pumpkin cake is going to make his taste buds sing. Sing. See what I did there? It's a joke, because he's the music pastor. Okay, today we are going to be making my world famous pumpkin cake, and you all are so lucky I'm giving up this recipe. If you tell a soul the secret ingredients in this recipe, I will find you. And it is going to start with you spreading this softened butter all over this pan, get in all the nooks and crannies. And while you do that, I will open this can of pumpkin, potentially.
I don't know if this is working.
You have to take the wrapper off.
Oh, okay.
And I don't really have very many muscles. This is difficult.
2,000 years later.
Now we finally have this can open, and I'm going to scoop the entire can of pumpkin. If you can't find a 15-ounce can, and they only have the big ones at the store, it's about 1 3/4 cups of pumpkin. And if they don't have just regular pumpkin, do not substitute pumpkin pie mix. It won't work.
Good to know.
So you need to have pumpkin. And apparently there's a great pumpkin shortage this year. So if you see it, buy it. Okay, that can go in the sink. And now you get to crack 4 eggs into here. And while you do that, I'll measure out our oil.
In here?
Yep.
Okay.
This cake is so easy because you really do mix all of the wet ingredients at one time and then just dump all the dry ingredients in, stick it in the oven. It's kind of the easiest dessert you can make. Okay, while you do that, I will start whisking, and then we'll add the sugar.
I've heard that this pumpkin cake literally has made family members cry.
Yes.
Is that true?
It's very true. It's
In a
my
good
claim
way,
to
of
fame.
course.
Yes. When I first made this, my sister had just had twin girls, and I made her a dessert when she came home from the hospital, and it was this. And as soon as she ate it, she burst into tears and said that it was the best thing she had ever tried.
Wow.
And I was like, ooh, I'm putting that on my website. Okay, so now we're gonna do 1.5 cups of sugar, which is that amount. And you can whisk that in.
Okay.
And while you do that, I will add in some vanilla. It's about a tablespoon of vanilla. You really do want to be able to taste it. Also, chef tip, if you're doing a baking recipe and it doesn't call for vanilla, use a different recipe. Or add vanilla. Vanilla complements pretty much anything sweet that you're baking. Okay, now we're gonna add the spices because pumpkin is all about the spice. I add ground cardamom, about a tablespoon. And this really complements the pumpkin and the cinnamon, which is what I'm gonna add next, about a teaspoon of it. There we go. And then just a pinch of nutmeg.
Smells good.
Oh yeah, now it's starting to smell like Christmas. And to that, I will add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2. And then 2 cups of flour, which I will add 1/2 cup at a time so that it incorporates easily. Nice and level. 1.
You waiting for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Faster.
2. I have to count out loud or I will forget how many I've done. 3.
It's getting thicker now.
Yeah, now it's starting to look like cake. And the last one. And then once it gets to about that texture, I usually switch to the spatula.
Okay.
So I'll let you take the whisk out. And then you don't want to overmix this. You just want the flour to be incorporated. It's okay if there's a few lumps. Those will bake out while you cook. And now I'm going to pour it into our pre-greased pan. Can you push that a little closer to me? Thank you. And just scrape the bowl. And now this puppy is ready to go into a 375-degree oven for about 30 minutes. Just spread it into the corners. Make sure we get all the cake and don't leave any behind. There we go. So we'll be back in about 30 minutes.
I've heard legend of this cake, but it's hard to believe that something that's this easy to whip up can taste so good. I'll reserve judgment till later.
I know this feels really simple, but trust me, this is all there is to it. You're not doing it wrong, and the results will speak for themselves. All right, Aaron, now we are going to make the frosting for this cake.
All right.
So I'm gonna have you open up this cream cheese and put it right in here. And while you do that, I'll measure out our spices. Now, the frosting is a chance to reinforce the flavor that's inside the cake. So we're gonna add some more cardamom, about a teaspoon. And then about a teaspoon of cinnamon as well. No nutmeg this time because we don't need a ton of it.
How do I open this?
You know, I was struggling with those earlier.
Just rip it
There
open?
you go, yeah.
There you go.
And this is 1/3 less fat cream cheese. So if you're watching your calories, that's a way to do it. You can do the less fat for this cream cheese. Not a big deal. But you could also do the full fat. It's just going to be a little bit more delicious. Okay. You keep stirring that.
Okay.
I'm going to add some cream into the mixture. About 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. And I'm also going to add some powdered sugar. This is about 2 cups of powdered sugar, and we want the whole bag.
The whole bag.
I'll throw this away while you keep stirring. Check the consistency, see if we need more cream, which we do. So this frosting is really difficult to mess up because if it looks too thick, just add more cream. If it looks too thin, just add more sugar. It's really kind of foolproof. And we're gonna put it onto the cake while the cake is still hot.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll kind of melt into the cake a little bit, so it doesn't have to be a perfect consistency either.
I feel like everything's sticking to the whisk.
Yeah, so just a little bit faster with it, and that should knock it all out. There we go. Perfect. So this is beautiful. You can see all the spices in there. It's nice and thick, but it's gonna spread easily. Now we just need to wait for our cake, and we'll pour it over the top when the cake comes out of the oven.
All right. So right now, we're waiting for the cake to finish baking, and I'm starting to smell it. This is gonna be good.
The final trick to this cake is you're going to take the knife and just kind of poke some holes into it.
Okay.
I know that seems counterintuitive, but what it's gonna do is allow this icing that we put on top to soak down into the cake and make it so moist and delicious.
Nice.
Okay, that's perfect. And now we're just gonna scrape our icing onto the top. There we go. I'll hand you the bowl. And then in no particular fashion, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just kind of spread the icing all over. It's gonna melt as you're going, and that's fine. It's just pouring into the cake more. There we go. So this isn't the most beautiful dessert you'll ever make, but it is the most delicious.
Sure smells good.
There we go. I'll give you that. And now it's just time to slice and serve. We'll be right back. All right, now we get to do the best part of the entire day, which is taste it.
All right.
Here we go.
Oh,
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
Wow.
I love cardamom. in baked goods. Highly recommend that you put cardamom in everything.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
I'm so glad you. The thing that makes this recipe completely worth it is the look on Pastor Aaron's face as he takes his first bite. That is pure satisfaction.
Surprisingly easy and exceedingly delicious. I would highly recommend this for your Christmas sweet watch party.
Thank you all for tuning in this week. I'm so glad that I had a chance to film with Pastor Aaron. And remember, this recipe, it's our little secret. Make sure that you post some pictures of the pumpkin cake that you make, and check us out at christmassweet.com. We'll have our premiere date soon, and we can't wait to see pictures of your watch parties. Until next time, I'm Chef M, and this is Pastor. Say goodbye, Pastor.
Goodbye, Pastor. So Christmas Sweet this year is an opportunity for us to reimagine sweet like we have never done before. We are so excited to bring to you our first original full-length feature film telling you the story of Christmas and the gospel. And one of the most exciting parts is that we are really thinking the outreach component can be so much bigger than in any past years. And so we are praying and expecting God to do great things as we spread the good news of Jesus and the gospel to our community and around the world.
Sitting by the fire and tree, drinking hot cocoa, you telling us the story of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus is my favorite part of Christmas. But the other day, Eleanor came down with a fever and a bad cough. We don't think it's the wisest choice for us to be together for Christmas tomorrow.
Even if we can't be together, kids can't miss the Christmas story this season. I need them to know the light still shines in this dark world.